Hi guys, welcome to this video about the different internet providers which are around in USA. Especially I'm talking about Florida, but most of them are available in the whole US. So when you're new, like you go, like when you're young, you're moving out from your parents, having your own home or apartment, you have to choose your internet provider, or you are moving from an old home, you have the opportunity to choose new internet provider, or the old internet provider is not available on the new location, so I have to choose a new one, and so on. A lot of people are in the market to choose a new internet provider, and that can be difficult, can be interesting, can be a hassle. So, and it's definitely not easy. So I just wanted to tell you a little bit about my experience from the last 4 years here. I have been changing internet providers uh, actually every year. I have started with Verizon, then I went to Frontier. This switched then to Spectrum, I think, and I was not happy. Then I wanted to go back to Verizon, but that was then at this time Frontier. And after Frontier, I moved to a new location where Frontier not was available, and I had to choose another one. So what you have to do, especially, is you have to enter when you go to a website like from Verizon or Bright House. I mean, like Spectrum. You go there and you enter your uh, local address, and then you can find out if they provide the internet service at all, or or at what level. So it's really difficult. I have tried to find a page that would be the easiest thing. So go to a page where you can enter your address and then find out what kind of services are provided at this location. Unfortunately, I haven't found. This here is a good page. It is called Broadband Now, and you can at least enter your zip code, and then you get at least an idea what's around. But then you have to go to each of their web pages and enter your address and find out what exactly the services are which they provide, because like Verizon, they have usually these fiber optics, but they don't have it on every location. Some locations are only with copper, and then you don't have they can't provide the same upload speeds, of course, and not even download speeds with copper than with the fiber optics, of course. So you really have to find out, but it gives you an idea here. There's when you start on this page, you can see what cable companies are around, or what internet companies are around, and the full list is has 2,500 providers. There are so many, it's extreme. They are separated in DSL. I mean, this is copper. I don't know why copper is separately. Then it says cable. Cable, usually you're talking about TV. I don't know, fiber optics like Verizon. Then of course there is another opportunity, fixed wireless, especially when you're in a like an location, like a remote location where there is really nothing. You just have power, maybe solar power, whatever, and yeah, there's I don't know, no telephone. I mean, it's rare. It's almost not existing, but it is. Or you having really problems finding a good internet provider, either with fiber optics or copper, and Yeah, there is nothing. It's limited availability. Maybe you are in trouble with them, you had late payments or whatever, or they did really bad job and you need something else. And wireless is always a possibility. I've tested this for about 2 weeks because they had troubles. That's something else. I mean, I've been switching from one provider to the next one, and so they had to connect my home with the next location, which was at the curb. But they couldn't use the same cable because I was switching from copper to fiber optics. So they had to drill underneath my driveway. And I said, yeah, it's no problem. Yeah, first I said we can use an old cable, old whatever, old tube. And but at the end, I mean, I cut it, unfortunately, or I cut my old connection with the old provider, and then I had next day the new provider coming and they said, oh my goodness, I can't install that here, we have to make a new connection underneath your driveway, and this is only a special company which can do that, so I have to call this company and it takes a couple of weeks and so on. You will be out of anything, uh, phone, internet, TV for quite a while, and yeah, I was pushing them a little bit, and so at the end, it went. Yeah, it was possible to do this a little bit faster, but it took me about 2 or 3 weeks uh, to get the fiber optics connected, and during this time I had to use something, and it was wireless. It was 4G. You can find this in the internet. So I've been trying to find the old provider which I had, because I had actually a good experience. Just technically it was not the best solution, but it's something like this. This is simply unlimited wireless. Um, yeah, they say it's $95 per month for all the data you can use without worrying about cap throttling. Yeah, 95. It's not cheap, but when it's only your solution, yeah, it can be okay if you have to cover a whole home. Let's say you have 4 or 5 people, you have kids, they want to look, they want to watch YouTube and streaming and whatever. Yeah, that probably won't work because the upload and download speed are really limited. Here we have something um, what's available in this case. So will get a box, and you can spread then the Wi-Fi signal from inside your house, and then you can connect with a lot of devices. So in my case, I think it was limited to I think 4 devices, something like that. But usually you can connect this box then to your own router, and your router can split the signal into almost unlimited connections, and they will never find out about that, and so there's no limitation. But of course they have to share the whole bandwidth, and it will go down when there is there's a lot of usage. So it's, in theory it works, but yeah, I mean, some companies are looking to provide these all over the world, especially like in Caribbean, where there are not in, there is no cable internet everywhere, and so there's maybe a chance that it will be improved in the long term. But now I think that the best option is still copper or fiber optics, of course. So let's dig a little bit deeper. I have done the search for my area, and so I just entered the zip code, and this is what I got. It says I have actually 3 providers 3 providers in my area which do really the home connection. The first is Spectrum, the next is Wow, and the third one is Frontier, and they give some consumer ratings and also the coverage and fastest speed. But you have to be careful. I mean, this here, the fastest speed, what they say, this is not true. I can confirm that these values here are not true. I don't know how they come up with these values. I have no clue. So you have definitely, when you have when you have this list here and you see these 3 providers, you have to click on them and then go to their website. I don't know if the website is here. Otherwise, you have to go to Google and go to the yeah, here at the Spectrum website, Wow website, Frontier website, and enter your address, and they will tell you what service at what price it will be available. But this is not reliable, definitely. So, and what I mean, what's maybe something on this page which is a good thing. Here I see there's a website. So what I was looking for is a comparison. Actually, I wanted to have a comparison between Spectrum, Wow, and Frontier. And on this site, on the Broadband Now, I haven't found anything where you can enter 3 providers and have the full comparison between these 2. There are only 2 which you can compare, and you have to Google that. You can't find it on this site. You have to go to Google and find the page on this page, I mean subpage on this page, where you can compare like Spectrum with Wow and Wow with Frontier. It's a little bit annoying, but I did that and I found it. So you can see now Frontier versus Wow side by side comparison. And the good thing, now you have the website from both companies here, and they say how fast these are, and some information, a little bit more than before. And the good thing is, maybe the most interesting thing about is the rating. I don't know how accurate these are, but at least it's very interesting. So you see the Frontier rating has been stable and going up. The Wow rating has always been a little bit higher and going up extremely. I don't know if this is a percentage. I can't believe that Wow has a 100% yeah, feedback, a positive feedback. It's impossible. I mean, when you go to most feedback or review sites, telecom providers are at the lowest lowest end which is ever possible. So usually people are not making compliments about internet providers. They are expecting good service and they are only complaining about and not giving good positive feedback. I don't know how reliable this is. I did same thing also with Spectrum versus Wow. Same thing. So you also have the Spectrum website here, and we see the Spectrum feedback is going down while the Wow feedback is going up. So this is for me an indication that maybe the management has been changing. So maybe there's a new management and they say they're paying more attention to the customer feedback and they are taking the customer seriously, and so maybe this causes the feedback going up. And I would rather, if I had the choice to, I mean, if they were providing same service at same price, I would definitely go with this one, which has a better rating and it's in an uptrend. So that's definitely a good thing. So, but I have to tell you, I have been now with three or actually four, including the wireless, four providers have been with Wow, Verizon, Bright House, um, and I haven't been happy with any. I mean, I haven't been 100% happy with any of them. So I started mostly in a positive mood. They came, did the installation, but usually after 2 days you find out, oh, phone is not working. Oh, you don't have the channels which you like should have. The internet is slower. The internet is disconnecting. You have a lot of lags. Blah blah blah. There are so many things. It's endless. It's endless. Or you sign a contract. I mean, or you are not aware that you sign a contract, and when you want to cancel, they say you have to pay for like half a year or a year at worst. So I had this with a business account. I was not aware of this. I took it over from the old owner, and I wanted to cancel Verizon, and they said, "Yeah, you can't cancel. You have to either pay now $2,000 if you want to cancel now, or you have to keep paying for 1 year or something like that." That was crazy. So usually when you have residential, then the you can terminate earlier. So or early termination fees are lower. Sometimes it's only 100, 200, and sometimes the new provider is willing to pay for that. So I've seen this, especially I think it was Bright House. They were willing to pay. Let's say you have an early termination fee from Verizon, and you cannot go out, and you are not willing to pay $200. You can call Bright House, or I mean Spectrum now. You can call them and say, okay, I would be ready to go with you. Are you ready to pay $200 early termination fee? And there's a good chance they will pay. So that's one of the possibilities, but it's definitely something you have to be aware of. There is always a chance that they say you're in contract, even when they do. I mean, anyway, when you make like a contract, when you make a deal, the problem is always you cannot make a deal with a chat or with email. You always have to call. I think this is with 99% of all these internet providers. You have to call them. There's never something in a written form. So even when somebody comes at your door and makes like the door sale, so at the end you have to it won't be your final contract. At the end it's hard to figure out what you really have, and at the end it could be some kind of contract even when you thought it's not a contract. It's sometimes it's extremely hard to tell, and this can be a huge thing at the end. So I would definitely try to go without a contract, but sometimes they say you have a contract. I had this with Verizon extremely. When I set up the account, they told me, yeah, you have the choice of going without the contract, like month by month. It's a little bit more expensive, or you can do a 2 year contract. It's a little bit cheaper. So I told them I go without the contract, pay a little bit more. And so when I canceled them and I said, okay, we should actually be done. I'm not on a contract. They said, oh no, you have a 2 months early termination fee now to pay. So I was really upset, and I told them, yeah. So you're saying I'm on a contract. So show me the contract. Show me my signature. Either you're showing me that, or I'm not paying. And they said, okay, we show you the contract. And so they never sent something. And 2 weeks later, I got the final bill, and it was zero. So sometimes it's crazy. So what I'm saying, it's actually impossible to have an internet provider which is where you're 100% satisfied. I think, I mean, this is so rare. It's almost impossible that it will happen. So in my region, we had, when I switched here, we had a lot of people saying, oh wow, wow, I mean wow, there's another name about, basically it's wow. And a lot of people were saying wow is so good, they have super like they have good equipment, they have good service, they have nice reps, they have whatever, everything is perfect. And I thought, yeah, that's almost impossible, but wow was the only way to have a nice upload speed. So usually when you have copper and DSL, I mean, yeah, with copper you have DSL and like this. Then you have low, usually very low upload speed. This is with almost all providers. Maximum upload speed is usually 10 to 15 megabits. And WoW was the only provider who have been which has been able to provide 50 megabits upload speed, which is important for me when I do YouTube videos or other stuff and or streaming or whatever. So, and the surprising thing is they were able to provide that, but it's not perfect. I mean, as you can see, I did today I did a speed test, and the upload speed is perfect, but the download speed I've never been able to get. I mean, I have a contract, or like it's actually not no contract, but I have set up an account and I'm paying every month for 500 megabits download, and I have never been able to get more than 200 megabits. So average I get 150 megabits. So when I called them and yeah, and complained about that, they sent a guy to me, and they said, "Oh, yeah, I think that's a problem because you're wireless, connected wireless, but you can have faster speeds than this." So okay, I connected with a cable. Then we tested with cable, and it was not working again. It was still so slow. Then we checked the cable, and he said, "Oh, you're using only a Cat5 cable. That's the problem." So okay, then we switched the cable to a Cat5e. Luckily, I was able to find Cat5e, which should be capable to have 1 gigabit. And we ran the test again, and it was absolutely same speed. So he made a call to his company, and a couple of minutes later he came and said, yeah, there was a lightning storm close to this location, and they have to do some repairs, and during this time the internet speed is limited, but it will go up on the long term, which never happened. This is almost three months ago. It has not changed a bit. This is just excuses. And I can really tell you, this will be the same thing with WoW, with Frontier, with Verizon, with yeah, whatever you have. It will be the same. You will never get 100% what you pay. You will never get super stable internet connection, and so. But based on my experience, I mean, upload with WoW is good, especially when you consider its cable, its DSL. Upload speed is awesome for DSL. I mean, when it comes to upload speed, the best, of course, is Verizon, which is Frontier now, and they have these fiber optics, and you can go up to, I don't know, a lot of upload, 100, 200 megabits upload. I don't know, maybe even more. If you are ready to pay, then you can have a lot, and this can be really good. So there are actually just two ways to get a lot of upload speed. Either you choose fiber optics or you choose WoW. With download, I mean, download is usually no problem. Even with DSL, most providers should be able to provide at least 100, 200, 300 megabits shouldn't be a problem. The ping can be a problem. Surprisingly, pings have always been better with DSL compared to fiber optics. So ping is relevant, especially for gaming, and so also my kids confirmed that they have been more happy with DSL with the ping than when we had fiber optics. Of course, the upload speed was better with fiber optics, but ping we never reached such low ping with the fiber optics. But it was we have been still able to be gaming. It has never been like a killer, but ping is definitely better with DSL based on my experience. But you have to be really, really careful about all the things, and you will never be 100% happy. I can tell you, you will have to make compromise, and there will be always a thing. You have to when they come and do the installation, check all the channels which you have, check the download and upload speed and ping, check the phone, check everything. I can tell you, really, you have to watch this closely, and what you have to be really, really careful about is the payment when they send you a bill, monthly bill. So when you watch maybe first bill, it's okay, second bill, it's okay, and you put it on an automatically payment that it will be automatically paid by your bank, you have to be absolutely careful about this, because sometimes it happens that it starts with the price which you have been negotiating with them. Sometimes you can get a little bit discount, so when you talk to them for an hour or so, or half an hour, you can get maybe 10 or 20 bucks lower price. That can happen. It's always worth to talk to them and ask for a lower price. Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't, sometimes they only do when you're willing to make a contract, but I suggest not to make a contract, especially when you don't know how long you will be there. But it can be that they send you a bill, and they send you the next bill, and it's still okay, and then it comes the third bill, and it goes up like crazy for no reason. They just try to make more money out of you. It's absolutely crazy. I had this thing now with Wow. I mean, I had this with other companies as well, but I had this now especially with Wow. And so it was not, the internet and everything was not working with one router. So I had them coming and checking the connection, and the guy told me that the connection was not set up properly by their first guy, and so it was their fault, and I shouldn't have to pay for that repair. And so I got the next bill, and I was actually not concerned about that, and I checked the next bill, and it was exactly double price. Instead of $120, it was $250. It was absolutely crazy. They double charged me everything, because when I switched, they charged me the old equipment and also the new equipment, all new equipment, and they charged me premium channels, they charged me new boxes, they charged me also the TV, like the TV set, I mean the channel set, they charged me twice. It was absolutely crazy. And when you call them, when you're lucky, you yeah, you get somebody at the phone, and you can do yeah, they can like cancel all these extra payments, all these extras, and they will excuse. But sometimes it's really, really hard to fight with them. It can be crazy, and even when they admit that it was their fault, it can be, I mean, it's absolutely annoying what they will tell you, like excuses. And this is the thing which I had this time with WoW. Maybe you can listen for a couple of seconds what she was telling me. It was absolutely crazy. So I hope you can
Yeah,
hear that.
I understand that, sir. Okay, so I'm going to do the following. First of all, because you're telling me I don't know exactly why all this is happening. So I'm going to give you a brief explanation on why you're getting all this, because I know it's concerning. Believe me, I know that. It's concerning because you see medium cable again, ultra gateway box again, digital premium channel when that one comes with the service that you have actually. It's already there. So you shouldn't be charged for that. What happened is this. Whenever we do changes, in this case, whenever we change the boxes, what happens is that we send the signal to the equipment. Whenever we do that, the system generates all these additional charges, and this is the way that it recognizes what services you're getting on that box. It's not your fault. I agree with you. And we need to set up the proper expectations so you know what. Okay, so if you're getting this,
Expectations.
at least we need to tell you.
Proper
You're going to see
expectations.
these charges.
Oh my
This
god.
is the reason why, but no, these charges are not good. At least the partial charges are not. So I'm going to make the adjustment on the account because I know it's concerning paying for all this. And the last thing that we want is that you have a bad experience with the service.
Yes, and so on and so on. Indeed, kept going for a long time. So she was bringing up excuses, and really, yeah. I mean, it's annoying. So I think it will be probably the same with everybody. So if you have an exchange, if something breaks down with WoW, they will just start to charge double price, and if you don't realize you pay double price. So it's absolutely crazy. You have to be careful with these internet providers. It's really a pain. It's one of the biggest pains which is existing on earth, and it's not only in US, it's all over the planet. Internet provider, I mean, TV, internet, phone, they are, I mean, I can't tell you the words which I'm thinking about these things. You have to be really careful. That's the bottom line. You have to be really careful. There is not one single like perfect provider. You have to be careful. You have to be looking into everything before you sign something. You have to know what you will pay for and how long you will pay for, what you will really get. And it is definitely worse if you think you don't get the thing what you should get, or you're paying too high, then complain. And usually there's a chance to get what your right is, or what you paid for, or so yeah. So this is was a little bit about my experience with Frontier, WoW, and Spectrum, especially for Florida, Tampa Bay area. I mean, I hope I was able to help you a little bit with that. If you have any questions or comments, just write to the comment section below, and I'm always happy to talk about these things. And if you like the video, give me a thumbs up, subscribe my channel. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.